right leg back, right, Jodan uke, oizuki, right, and then from here, Zankusu Kiya. Right, again, make sure you're creating the separation, all right, you don't want to be too tight and be fighting for balance. Ich, ni, san, imagine the attack coming center line, center line. See that? So if I punch here, he doesn't have to do anything.
Yes, sir.
Right? I have to, so punch slow enough that if you do make contact, you're forcing your opponent back.
Okay.
It makes no sense to train, you know. Okay, so right leg back, ich. Okay, so again, the same thing. You want to attack center line, knee. All right, and then from here, make the adjustment here, and then from here, center line again. Everything should be going over the knot of the belt. Right, and just like kata, whether you're doing Zen Kutsurachi or whatever you're doing, you want to have the structure down. Okay? Again, Yoi. Ready? Ich. Ni. San. Kia. Right, so not on the heels. Right? The weight should be distributed forward. So from this position here, if I'm in this position here, if I break the heel, my knee is going straight where my attack's going. So if your foot's out this way and I break the heel, all right, this here, okay, by the knee being out here, if I'm turning this way, I don't have the distance and the technique. I have to align this. Now it's very easy for me to touch my target, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
that's what we want to try to achieve without moving in closer. All right, so yeah, we have to know the grappling and the groundwork and all this stuff. But the idea is, if you're defending yourself, you want to be on your feet.
Right.
The last place you want to go to is the ground.
Right.
So if you could strike here and then whatever, that's where you want to be. Yoi. Ich. Ni. San. But this is what you want to try to achieve right here. So, okay, yes, I'm not pulling, I'm controlling. All right, so from here, I focus. If I pick up my heel, rotate the hip, then you see how much I can pick up in the technique. But you got to be aware of that. Okay? Ich. Now you're counter-attacking, center line. Knee. San. Ich. Knee. San. Ich. Knee. San. Yakusoku Kumite #1. And ich. Knee. San. Yoi. In the last move of Yakusoku Kumite #1, notice when the attack comes in, the defender shifts out of the line of fire, intercepting the technique and countering with their own punch. Starting with Yakusoku Kumite #1, we're going to look at some of the different attacks in the kumites and then again create some variations off them. Try to make them a little bit more realistic. You'll notice from time to time, as the punch comes in and the first block is performed, both hands are chambered in the pocket. Realistically, in a street situation, that wouldn't be the case. So we're going to kind of look at these techniques as building blocks and again, creating a technique that gives you different angles, directions, fits. You may see some throwing techniques, off-balancing techniques, and again, different principles apply throughout each kumite. So if we look at the initial attack in Yakusoku Kumite #1, all right, what I like to teach my students is to look at the positioning of the attack. So let's look at this in a realistic situation where this punch may come in as a grab. Maybe my opponent's looking to grab or even maybe throw a palm heel to my face or choking technique. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift off the first initial move And then from here, I would look where I could apply my counter. Now, I don't necessarily have to follow the pattern of the prearranged fighting attack because now it becomes a variation. So if I'm looking at this position here, you know, I have a low kick, I have a punch to the body. I could even move inside and maybe perform a throwing technique. Okay, again, the initial move for Yakusoku Kumite is that straight punch coming in. From this position here, I'm looking to develop inside position or outside position, depending on environment. Again, if we're up against the wall, as the case is here, I may not be able to shift to the outside. As that punch comes in, I have to maybe take the attack to the inside position. If there's a little bit more room as the grab comes in, now I could shift. Now I could use a strike off to the side and now exit. So we have to look at the positioning of the attack to create the appropriate response to our opponent. Staying within the context of Yakusoku Kumite number 1, we're going to kind of perform it more of a, again, realistic positioning. So as the attack comes for the throat, I may back up from this position. The counterattack may be for me to push my opponent away. And now as he comes in to grab again, now I may fire off a palm heel strike, center line positioning of the body. Ah! Looking at inside positioning off the first initial move in Yakusoku Kumite number 1, again relating it to not only the punch coming in, but the grab, the choke, poke to the eyes. What we're going to try to do from here is establish inside position. So as the attack comes in, what I'm going to be doing is fitting inside. So I'm going to turn my partner around this way so you can see. So I want to take away the left side of the body by going into a shoulder throw. So from here, I would continue the movement away from my body. There's a lot of different things I could do. Placing my foot to the outside position of my opponent will simply be able to take my opponent around to the front of me. This way I could exit. Okay, staying with our Yakusoku Kumite pre-range fighting attack number 1. Now we're going to try to establish outside position again. Again, the philosophy of Matsubayashi Shorin Ryu is to move forward and to kind of never back down. But you can see in some of the movements, you have to make that adjustment by getting out of the way, moving back sometimes. But the mentality has to be always move forward. From this position here, as the grab comes in, I'm going to slip to the outside. As I have outside position, my right hand is going to shoot up outside my opponent's neck, and then from here, I'm simply going to perform a shoulder choke. Okay, we'll take another look at it from the opposite side. So again, I'm slipping to the outside. This hand shoots up, and then from here I clasp. I want to make sure, I'm going to turn my opponent's back to you. I want to maintain real good tight control. And then from this position here, I could even follow up with a throwing technique.